Wow, that took me a long time to find a map showing the natural resources in Ukraine. So long. And it reminded me that whenever you're doing research, you need to cite your sources. So when we talked about looking for some information about the natural resources, after you finish jot noting, you have to tell the teacher where you got the information from. So we got the information from here. You need to highlight this up here and go Control C. Then you go Control V. And at the front of it, move it over and type in sources. Source. Whoops. It would help if I spelt it correctly as a U. Source. This is very important in grade 3 and grade 4, 5, and 6 as well. Always cite your sources. So these two maps I was able to find on a website called ResearchGate. And this one shows the most important natural resources in Ukraine because these are the ones that produce the most amount of money. This map shows the second most important regions and the natural resources they have. So let's look at the first one. Notice all of the brown here, all over, and that is referring to land. If you recall, during our field trip about Ukraine, they talked about how wheat was so important in Ukraine. They produce 30% of the world's wheat. And they said that was because the soil was so rich. And now we can see they have a lot of very rich soil in Ukraine. The land is very important to the economy. It is so important. And it covers all of Ukraine almost. Then we have some minerals over here in the pink and some minerals here. There's some forests which create trees which they use for houses and lumber, maybe some pulp and paper, and natural recreational areas which are left preserved so people can go and enjoy it. That's a natural resource. So this makes a lot of money for Ukraine, these natural resources, especially this rich soil. If I recall correctly, I do believe they said in the field trip that Ukraine had some of the richest soil in the world, and this map proves it. Now, if we look at this map, it's even more interesting because here's something I did not know. The blue is water. So, this is not water sitting on top of the land. If you recall, if we go back up here, water could be on top, but it could be also underneath. I'm fairly certain that this water is not sitting on top. It wouldn't make much sense because there's a lot of dirt sitting on top here, a lot of good rich soil. But this is telling us that there's a lot of water under the land. It's very similar to Canada. We also have a lot of water. We have water both on top and below. Water is an important natural resource. Perhaps after oxygen, it's the most important natural resource in the world. Then there's some more pink areas, a little bit more compared to the first map. This is where they're making most of the money in these areas from natural resources. And over here, they have some more resources here. Also interesting are that there's more natural recreation centers. So these would be areas where people go to hike and just enjoy nature. And people probably travel from other countries to go here. So that's an important natural resource. And more forests are included. Wow, so interesting. Okay, let's move forward.